The Luddites were a secret oath-based organization of English textile workers in the 19th century, a radical faction which destroyed textile machinery as a form of protest. The group was protesting against manufacturers who used machines in what they called a fraudulent and deceitful manner to get around standard labor practices. Luddites feared that the time spent learning the skills of their craft would go to waste, as machines would replace their role in the industry. Many Luddites were owners of workshops that had closed because factories could sell the same products for less. But when workshop owners set out to find a job at a factory, it was very hard to find one because producing things in factories required fewer workers than producing those same things in a workshop. This left many people unemployed and angry. Over time, the term has come to mean one opposed to industrialization, automation, computerization, or new technologies in general. The Luddite movement began in Nottingham, in England, and culminated in a region-wide rebellion that lasted from 1811 to 1816. Mill and factory owners took to shooting protesters, and eventually the movement was suppressed with legal and military force. The name Luddite is of uncertain origin. The movement was said to be named after Ned Ludd, an apprentice who allegedly smashed two stocking frames in 1779, and whose name had become emblematic of machine destroyers. Ned Ludd, however, was completely fictional and used as a way to shock and provoke the government. The name developed into the imagery General Ludd, or King Ludd, who was reputed to live in Sherwood Forest, like Robin Hood. The Luddite movement emerged during the harsh economic climate of the Napoleonic Wars, which saw a rise of difficult working conditions in the new textile factories. Luddites objected primarily to the rising popularity of automated textile equipment, threatening the jobs and livelihoods of skilled workers, as this technology allowed them to be replaced by cheaper and less skilled workers. The Luddites met at night on the moors surrounding industrial towns to practice military-like drills and maneuvers. The main areas of operation began in Nottinghamshire in November 1811, followed by the West Riding of Yorkshire in early 1812, then Lancashire by March 1813. They smashed stocking frames and cropping frames, among others. The Luddites and their supporters anonymously sent death threats to, and possibly attacked, magistrates and food merchants. Activists smashed Heathcote's lace-making machine in Loughborough in 1816. He and other industrialists had secret chambers constructed in their buildings that could be used as hiding places during an attack. The British Army clashed with the Luddites on several occasions. At one time, there were more British soldiers fighting the Luddites than there were fighting Napoleon on the Iberian Peninsula. 4 Luddites, led by George Mellor, ambushed and assassinated mill owner William Horsfall of Ottenwell's Mill in Marsden. Horsfall had remarked that he would ride up to his saddle in Luddite blood. Mellor fired the fatal shot to Horsfall's groin, and all 4 men were arrested. One of the men, Benjamin Walker, turned informant, and the other 3 were hanged. Lord Byron denounced what he considered to be the plight of the working class, the government's inane policies and ruthless repression in the House of Lords on the 27th of February, 1812. Quote, "I have been in some of the most oppressed provinces of Turkey, but never, under the most despotic of infidel governments, did I behold such squalid wretchedness as I have seen since my return, in the very heart of a Christian country."